We go now to our Abuja studios to take a further look at the role of essential workers in the battle against COVID-19. And joining us is the president of the Nigerian Medical Association, Dr. Francis Faduile. Good evening, Dr. Faduile. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Good evening. It's a pleasure being here.
Now, what happened yesterday concerning the lockdown of everyone on the road after 8 p.m. and the subsequent reversal, which took place subsequently after that, just before midnight. And now the order by the Lagos chapter of your association that unless they received written clarity, they would commence a sit-at-home from 6 p.m. That, in fact, has begun. The police authorities have issued a clarification, both yesterday night and this morning. Isn't that enough?
Well, thank you very much. From the first instance, the question we want to ask is on what authority has the Inspector General of Police has given this blanket lockdown or this blanket restriction on everybody, including the health and essential workers. It is really unfortunate. The Commander-in-Chief of in the country and through the PTF, the Presidential Technical, the PTF, has given some waiver for the restriction. And the IGP came out without looking at the implication and ordered that everybody should be involved. We wonder, because the first time I heard about it, I thought it couldn't be true. And we thought that everybody knows that even in war, when you see Red Cross, when you see people who are medical people leading within the war section, they find a way to take care of them, to guide against them. Outside this country, doctors and other health workers are well appreciated for their role in containing the COVID-19. It is unfortunate that in Nigeria we are having such directives that is inimical to the well-being of Nigerians. And this is not the first time. When we started, our doctors were beaten. Some of them had heart fractures while they are on their way of duty. Some of them had been arrested. Many of them have been harassed. In fact, at a time, we have some doctors within the Federal Capital Territory that was made to sit on the floor while returning from a call duty work. And I think this is unfortunate. I think members of the security personnel should be able to understand the essential workers and the reason why essential workers are not involved, should not be stopped from being part of those that are following the curfew. And it is really unfortunate. And if the IGP is coming out late in the night and saying that he's now changing it, the first question we want to ask is, where has he got that directive for him to say even essential workers, including doctors and all health workers, are also involved in the curfew? We need clarification. It cannot be swept under the carpet. Every Nigerian deserves to know what has happened. We have ambulances taking sick patients to the hospital. They were arrested. They were denied their health. And I think it calls for concern of every Nigerian, because this is really unfortunate, and it is totally unthinkable that in this time of the year, of the decade, we are having such pronouncement from high-level security officers in the country. I think it is really, really unfair, because we have even a past president of Nigeria Medical Association was stopped while going back to the house. We have doctors who have been working for hours in the different isolation and treatment centers, and they were stopped. They were made to sit down and stay within the amongst the milieu of the confusion. And I think this is unfair. And
so it's safe to say, Dr. Faduile, it's safe to say that you support your Lagos chapter in seeking for clarity, written clarity over this matter?
Something that has happened not once, not twice, but many times, we need to have clarity. It is the minimum that I think the Lagos State doctors and other health workers must ensure to have. If you remember, the same Lagos State, when they started, they were requesting that every doctor or every health worker must bring their shift, their roster for them to allow them to move. And these are things that totally is unbecoming of our health or our security personnel in this country. And I think we need to put a stop on this. So I am fully in support of the Lagos State NMA for the decision and the activities they have done so far.
Now, let me ask you this, and it may, as I asked the nurse here earlier, it may sound like a trite question, but nevertheless, one needs to understand this. Why are doctors so critical to service in the healthcare system? Why are they essential workers? Why must they be allowed complete and unfettered freedom to operate during lockdowns and curfews?
Well, the answer is so simple. If you stop any other worker from getting to his or her duties post, such worker can still meet the work back and can still complete those work. If you disrupt a doctor from seeing a patient and you do not allow him to take care of that patient at that critical time, there is nothing you can do. We are talking about life. We are talking about sanctity of life, and we cannot take it for granted. And we have, as a matter of policy, as a matter of what we need to do to protect life in everything we do. And that is
yes,
why
but at that point, Dr. Fadule, let me ask you, Dr. Fadule, let me ask, at that point that you got to where you talked about the fact that you have the absolute duty and right to save life, this action embarked by the members, embarked upon by your members in Lagos, would it not be counterproductive, considering that if they stay at home, there is the possibility that lives would be lost, and equally importantly, a clarification has in fact been issued to indicate that the initial decision possibly was wrong, and that the position now is that, as it was before, essential service workers, including medical personnel, are exempted.
Well, I want to share your fear, but I must tell you that doctors and other health workers are also human beings, and we have to also protect their life and to see to their welfare. So it is in that wise that doctor must also see that he protects himself so that he can treat other patients. That is on the first side. On the second side, it is also positive that we will need to protect more life. But in the case in which when you are going back, you are being harassed, you are being tormented, and at a time, it also happened to me. I was at a police or a military checkpoint for over 2 hours, despite myself identifying myself, showing my ID card. The military officers at those places, they pushed me, and it was ridiculous. And despite telling them what I needed to do, we need to stop. And to stop, we need the necessary documentation. It is not good enough for you to wake up, give an order, and in few hours later, decide to give another order. Let us have it in black and white, and let us know that this is what you are committed to do, and this is what you should do. It is not good enough to just give an order, and you just feel that it can just be done like that. Do you know how many people who died yesterday when ambulances were also arrested? And when we have patients that needed to see doctor, we need to make a change, and that is the change that the Nigerian Medical Association, Lagos State, is requesting from the highest leadership of the security officers within that state.
Thank you very much, Dr. Francis Faduile. Dr. Faduile is the president of the national president, that is, of the Nigerian Medical Association. Thank you so much for your time from our Abuja studios.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure. Please stay safe.
Thank you, and you too.